Everyone, happy Tuesday. I hope you're having a good week so far, as it is getting to be springtime, and I am thinking about going on spring break soon and getting pretty excited about it. I wanted to talk about the connection between sleep and cortisol and weight loss. Now, I don't specifically help people with weight loss at all. I actually used to always want to lose weight and struggled with that for the past 10 or so years. And now I am at the more into accepting your body, intuitive eating type philosophies more than losing weight. But I do know that there can be things going on in the body that prevent you from losing weight. Sleep deprivation is one of them. And also cortisol that can cause you to not be able to sleep can also cause you to hold on to weight. So it's really all connected. And this is why a lot of times I have clients who do want to lose a few pounds, and after working together and we're working on their sleep, but we're also working on their health, they end up losing weight as a byproduct, even though that wasn't their main goal. So I just want to talk today about how these are all connected. And if you have had trouble losing weight and you're having trouble sleeping, then there is hope for you. So I don't know if you've ever noticed that when you don't get enough sleep that you can be hungrier and crave really unhealthy foods. So I've noticed this for myself. And it's true that sleep deprivation can cause weight gain. And one of the ways it does this is how it affects your hormones for hunger. So we have two hormones that control hunger, ghrelin and leptin. So ghrelin tells your body when you're hungry, and leptin signals when you're full. When you sleep only 4 or 5 hours a night, research has been done on this that shows that you have increased levels of ghrelin, even if you do the same amount of activity and eat the same foods. So you feel hungrier because of that increase in that hormone than you would if you slept for 8 hours. Another study showed that people eat up to 300 more calories a day when they sleep 4.5 hours versus those who are sleeping 8 hours a night. So this is how much more you can be eating and truly feel hungry because you aren't getting enough sleep. Now, when you don't sleep enough, your body also releases cortisol, the stress hormone. Even if it's cortisol that is sabotaging your sleep, then when you don't sleep, then it keeps releasing that because your body's stressed. It needs sleep. When cortisol is elevated, it also tells your liver to release its stored glucose. And then it limits insulin. So then your blood sugar levels increase, which causes blood sugar dysregulation and insulin resistance, which is all going to contribute to weight gain. Pretty much, cortisol tells your body to store fat, which is not what we want. So a sure sign of having elevated cortisol is belly fat that you can't get rid of no matter how many crunches you do per day. And again, as I've talked about many times, cortisol is also what's sabotaging your sleep. So if you have a hard time falling asleep, a lot of times it's probably because your cortisol is high at bedtime. And if you wake up at night, especially around 3 or 4, then cortisol is high in the night. And so finding out why your body is releasing cortisol at night is key to really getting over your insomnia. And the most common reasons that you have high cortisol at night are from a pathogen in the gut, low blood sugar, a congested liver, and possibly food sensitivities. So this is why I run different lab tests that show me if these things are there so that we know what to address. Now, cortisol also affects your thyroid too. So I work with quite a few people who have symptoms of hypothyroidism. And this is something that I've struggled with too. So some of these symptoms are fatigue, inability to lose weight, even if you diet or restrict calories, a low body temperature, cold hands and feet, dry skin, and thin eyebrows. And what I want you to know is that most of the time having these symptoms doesn't mean that there's actually something wrong with your thyroid. So those same symptoms can be caused by mineral imbalance, iodine deficiency, or if your body can't convert thyroid hormones to the usable form because you have an unhealthy gut or a congested liver. So a lot of times it's not actually the thyroid that's the issue, it's other things going on in your body. But when you do have these symptoms, or elevated cortisol is making the thyroid more inactive, then it creates this sluggish metabolism and weight that you can't really lose. And since inflammation is this main cause of elevated cortisol, then finding the source of inflammation is key. So whether that's from a pathogen or food sensitivities or those other things that I mentioned before. Now, mental and emotional stress can also cause your body to release cortisol too. Your body doesn't know the difference between getting in a fight with your spouse and being chased by a bear in the mountains. Unfortunately, it reacts the same way. It releases the same stress hormones. It has the same effect on our bodies, whether it's a physical stressor or a mental stressor. So this is why getting to, addressing your mental stress, your anxiety about sleep, your thoughts about sleep or life in general is also key to getting over your insomnia. So I hope this helps you understand what happens when you don't sleep enough and how that contributes to weight gain. Hopefully you can also resist the temptation to have these unhealthy foods when you haven't slept well, and just keep in mind that you feel hungrier even though your body doesn't necessarily need more food. It's because your those hunger hormones are really out of whack. So I just want to tell you about one of my clients who, of course, came to me for sleep. And then he noticed that within 2 months of us working together, he dropped 15 pounds of extra weight without even trying. He wasn't dieting. He had made some dietary changes to help with sleep, but it also contributed to his weight loss. So this is what is possible for you too. If you want to talk more about what's going on with your sleep and how I can help, I truly believe that you don't have to live with insomnia forever, that there's something going on in your body, there are things going on in your mind too that cause this, but that it is fixable. So feel free to get in touch with me if you want to talk more about how I can help you. Thanks for listening, and I will see you in the group.